And we are live here on Reality Alert. I'm Max Gieser, and I hope this guy isn't wearing flip flops today. I am here with Anton Yarosh. Anton, how's it going today?
Good, brother. Blessed.
No flip flops, right? Please?
I'm barefoot today. Even
Thank
better.
God. That's what we want to hear. And I'm sure that Edmund would love that too. The,
Oh
the
yeah,
barefoot
yeah.
feet.
Don't
Yeah.
tell them.
Yeah. So Anton, how have you been since the show? People are probably wondering like how you've been holding up.
Man, I'm good. I'm blessed. I've been just working, trying to kind of keep up with this whole social media craziness that's been going on and everybody talking about it. But I'm hanging in there, man. I'm hanging in there. It's been a lot. It's been a turbulent like past month and a half, I would say.
I could imagine. And as I was putting together my interview questions, and right as I finished them, and I laid down to bed last night, a question came to me.
Yeah.
You guys have kind of a crazy season. You have one of the crazier Love Is Blind seasons. People have said. As you were filming it, did you know you had a wild bunch on your hands?
The funny thing is when we were filming it, and like towards the end, I didn't even realize that nobody got married until I would say like 2 or 3 days after my wedding. I was kind of catching up with some of the other guys, and I'm like, so who, did Jordan and Megan get married? Did Edmund? And everybody's like, no, 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 nobody got married. I'm like, holy shit, is this the first time that nobody got married on the season of Love Is Blind?
Oh, so so you thought that Jordan and Megan had even like made it to the altar? Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
Wow.
I think in real time for them, it was right up until like the night of the wedding that they broke up because they were there with us filming and everything through the end. And like once you get to the weddings portion, it becomes kind of all about you. Everybody has their own wedding day, and we're not really supposed to be in contact with anybody else during our wedding day and everything. So our wedding days were back to back to back. So I didn't realize that nobody got married until like couple days after my wedding.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah, I know, and that was wild, man. Seeing that, just seeing that and realizing that was wild. Like I kind of knew it was going to be a crazy season just based on how things were playing out and the breakups and the ghosting in the pods and all that. But I think it really didn't hit me until after the filming. I'm like, this is gonna be an interesting season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you guys, I'm not just talking about you. You guys all partied like really hard. Were you aware? Were you all aware kind of how hard the partying was and how it might come off?
Yeah, I
Uh
mean, look, I don't think we were partying as like I don't think it was anything that crazy, but look, listen, we had an open bar, we were in Mexico,
yeah.
so a lot of people would indulge themselves, and I think it didn't really hit me that I was drinking a lot more than I normally do until afterwards when I got back to Denver and until after the weddings and everything. I was like, yeah, I was kind of drinking a lot, but no, I was doing it to cope with my anxiety and my what I was feeling. I mean, being on camera, nervousness and all that stuff, which it's not healthy. But in terms of partying and everything, I think we were just it was just kind of like one of those things where we were using it as a crutch or as a way to overcome whatever we were feeling or the nervousness and the pressure of the situation, right?
Yeah, and by the way, no judgment from me. I love partying, so don't worry. I'm a cool
Hell
guy.
yeah.
Don't worry. Hell yeah. And
Hell
I
yeah,
just I just
brother.
ask the questions. I'm not the judge or the executioner. Don't worry.
That's fair. That's fair.
We're fun over here, you know. We're not like the general public, okay? On
That's
Reality Alert.
fair. That's
Yeah.
fair.
So how did you end up on Love Is Blind? That's a question I had.
Yeah, it's actually kind of interesting because I did watch a couple of seasons before, like prior to going on, but I wasn't like a big fan. I wasn't like a diehard fan or anything. There's definitely seasons I did not watch that I ended up having to go back and like rewatch before a season came out, just so that I'm like I know who these people are and everything. But essentially, I was single. I was single for like relatively freshly single after a breakup, and I actually had an ex that let me know that, hey, like Love Is Blind is gonna be filming in Denver. You should apply. Like I think you'd be a good candidate or whatever. And
Oh.
I'm like, oh, how do you, like what what would I have to do to apply? And sure enough, like I, went on the went on their casting website, put in my application, and next thing you know, I'm in LA filming.
Have you talked to your ex since about your experience on the show?
I did. I think right after I got off filming, maybe within a week or two after we got back from the weddings, I think uh, we kind of like talked on the phone. Like she doesn't live in Denver or anything, but
Yeah, yeah.
we just kind of talked on the phone a little bit, and she was like, "Oh, how did it go?" And I was like, "I'm not gonna tell you how it went, but yeah, I mean, I went
You'll
through it,
see. You'll see
Yeah,
like
you'll
what
see. Yeah,
you'll see what
yeah,
you caused.
right, exactly. So,
So, uh when you first meet Allie in the pods, you
mhm.
tell her that only people close to you call you Anton and that most people call you Tony. Should I be calling you Tony during this interview?
Hey, you're really close to me now, brother. So you can call me
Okay, I call you
Anton.
Anton.
Yeah,
Okay.
like 40 million people are really close to me.
Yeah,
So.
have things switched now? Have things changed?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
It's kind of interesting. Me and my buddy were out this weekend, and he's known me for a long time, and he's always introduced me to anybody as Tony. And so he was telling some of his buddies that had never met me before, they're like, "Oh yeah, my buddy Tony's coming," and it's cool. And then when I actually get there, they're like, "Oh my God, it's Anton," and I'm
It's
like, "Oh,
Anton.
it's Tony," you know. So
Yeah.
yeah, but yeah, no, call me Tony, call me Anton, whatever.
So a big thing that happened on Love is Blind this season was your and Allie's connection in the pods was kind of a mystery to a lot of us. Like what exactly caused you guys to connect? We saw you talk about working at McDonald's. We saw you talk about your basic connection, but can you explain to me and the general public what really made you guys fall in love in the pods?
Yeah, there was a lot that wasn't shown. I think um, they kind of did a lightning round on us. They didn't really show too much of our interaction in the pods. What's really interesting about that is that I actually had a whole nother connection as well, all the way up until engagement day, and the day before engagement day, I didn't know whether I was going to propose to my other connection or to Allie, and I was really thinking about that and praying on that and really trying to get some clarity. And for none of that to get shown, for it to get shown as if I proposed to Allie on day one is kind of wild. But we actually connected. Um, it was over just how similar we were because we both were born in another country. We both um, were raised by a single parent. We both had a very humble upbringing, and we both were very motivated and are very motivated in what we want to do in our life and how we want to raise a family and what the family dynamic would look like in terms of having a stay-at-home wife and me working and providing for the family. And we connected over that. We connected over a lot of different, kind of things in terms of how we were brought up and in terms of what our day-to-day life looks like.
Who was the other connection?
It was Kaylin. She wasn't really shown much
Okay.
at all, as far as I'm concerned, as far as from what I've seen. But it was really interesting because me and her had a strong connection as well, and that went all the way up to engagement day, and I had to go into the pod with Kaylin, and she was thinking she's going to get proposed to um, on that engagement day, and I had to sort of break it to her that hey, I do have another connection, and I am going to propose to my other connection, and I had to break up with Kaylin right there. And as that wrapped up, I had to go right back into the other pod and propose to Allie right after. Yeah.
So Allie, I guess, was aware of your connection with Kaylin.
Yeah, she was. She was aware. Kaylin, I don't think was. Um, it wasn't something I didn't. really want to talk too much about my other connections in the pods when I was on dates because I wanted to lean into the person that I'm actually talking to in our connection instead of talking about other connections that, Allie or Kaylin or, anybody else might have.
Did you think
So
that that connection with Kaylin had an impact at all on what happened with Allie outside of the pods? Like that had a lingering effect at all?
I don't think it did. She never mentioned it being a concern or anything, and I had made it clear to her that um, the process that is the process is you're supposed to see every connection through and really, I mean, this is a big decision, so I wanted to take my time. I wanted to make sure I'm proposing to the right person, and when I did propose to Allie, I made it clear to her that this proposal is me basically saying yes at the altar. It's an extension of that. Me saying that, hey, I'm willing to work through whatever issues we have to work through. I'm willing to do whatever it takes to make this work.
That makes sense. In the pods, Allie tells you she has a dream where she picks you up after you get out of jail. And then you also tell her that you also had a dream that night. Did you
Yeah.
really also have a dream that night? And what was the dream? Because on the show, we don't hear
hmm
what the dream you have is.
hmm Yeah. So it's kind of interesting. So I don't remember exactly what the dream is, but I had vivid dreams every night
Oh,
that I was there. And the past couple days leading up to the weddings or to the engagements, I was dreaming of what, a life would look like with Allie, what a life would look like with Kaylin. And I think the dream I had the night before, I don't remember exactly what it was, but it had to have been kind of like one of those where it's like, man, I was still undecided. And then when I woke up from that dream, I knew it was going to be Allie. When I woke up that morning, I knew Allie was going to be my choice. So me saying to her that I had a dream last night, it was that dream. Basically, I went to bed not knowing who I'm going to propose to. And then the next day when I woke up, I was like, it's going to be Allie. So
wow.
yeah, yeah,
Okay. After the reunion, Allie told Doom that about you. He presented himself in the pods as active, healthy, and a man of God. In the real world, that just wasn't the case. He was eating fast food every day. He was apparently partying and drinking and going out to strip clubs. I just felt like I was sold a person in the pods, and he wasn't able to keep up that persona. What do you think about those statements regarding how you presented yourself in the pods?
I think I presented myself in the pods true to myself, which I am healthy. I do work out 5 to 6 days a week. I try to eat as best as I can. I do partake in some fast food from time to time, sometimes more often than others. There's weeks where if I have a busy week, I might eat fast food 5 to 6 days that week. But then there's going to be other weeks where I have more time on my hands. I'm actually going to cook. I'm actually going to eat clean and eat healthy and everything. And I do believe in taking care of yourself physically. It's very important. I do a lot of hiking. I'm very active physically. So in that sense, I presented myself as who I was. And look, listen, when we were filming, obviously you're working full time,
Yeah,
you're
you're
filming,
working full time
you're
and you're
doing all
filming,
these
so I could
things.
assume that your eating schedule might have been a little fucked
Yeah.
up, right?
And
Yeah,
yeah, exactly. And by the way, I was in the gym. I was still going to the gym 4 or 5 days a week while we were filming
yeah.
and working full time, So I don't necessarily see how why she said that, but I'll let her speak for herself on that. I think in terms of partying and being a man of God, I think those things I made it very clear to her that I was not brought up that way. I was not raised in the church. I was, younger. I was kind of younger in my journey to God and my journey to, you know, living, like Christ and trying to live that life. And I made it very clear to her that I used to party and I used to do a lot of things that, are not uh, becoming of being a Christian. So I led with that in the pods. I mentioned that in the pods. Now, did I party? Did I go to any strip clubs? Did I do any of that while we were filming? Absolutely not. In the strip clubs thing, we never had that conversation. And I made it clear to her that, hey, if you want to have that conversation, we should have had that conversation because I would have made it clear to you that yes, I did go to strip clubs. Not a lot. I wouldn't say I was a regular at any strip clubs, but I used to go to strip clubs, and some people do that, some people don't, whatever. But obviously, if you're in a relationship, if you have kids, if you're following God, if you're trying to live, that lifestyle, you shouldn't be going to strip clubs. So and that's how that conversation would have went had we have, had she have actually brought it up to me and had we have talked about it.
Yeah, but why didn't you just tell her, in the pods? Why didn't one day you just say, by the way, I go to strip clubs, Why didn't you just say that?
Because I
I'm,
don't like
I'm
that's the
kidding. I'm
thing is
kidding. I'm kidding. You're not going to come.
that's
By the way, Allie, I go to strip clubs all the time.
right. I live in the
And
strip
I know
club
you don't,
alley.
but I'm just saying it's
All
ridiculous.
right. No, they have some good steak there. They have some good wings.
Yeah,
That's the
the
funny thing is
breakfast buffet. Oh my god.
I go there for the food, man.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Yeah.
So how? All right. Since you brought it up, I feel like your friend's girlfriend made it sound like you guys were going to strip clubs all the time.
Yeah.
How often would you say you go to the strip club? Do you have like a membership card or what?
Yeah, let me get my wallet out.
Yeah.
I got the annual pass.
Yeah.
No, so I mean, look, obviously I've been to strip clubs. Obviously, like me and that guy that was on the show, Joey, we grew up together in Florida. And so back in Florida, we would go maybe if it was his birthday, my birthday, or like any kind of big celebration or something, would get a group of guys together, would go to a strip
Hmm.
club, that kind of thing. Um, since since going on the show, I think in that year or 2 years before going on the show, I think I've been to a strip club once, and that was for either a bachelor party or a birthday. I
Yeah.
don't necessarily remember, but it's like it was just funny that she mentioned that to me. I found it kind of funny because it's like it's pretty obvious. Like she didn't know him, she did not know me worth a shit. Like I met her twice
Yeah.
prior to that restaurant situation. So it's like you don't know me. You really don't. So it's like what gives you what gives you the right to speak about me as if you know exactly who I am, as if you know like what my day-to-day life looks like. So I think she was just looking to get a little, clout, or looking to get a little 15 seconds of fame or whatever, looking to have that like little clip, that
Yeah.
kind of, stir up the drama, stir the pot kind of thing. But um like I said, I don't know why she said that, but I also don't know why Allie didn't directly confront me about it and say, "Hey, this is what
Yeah.
was
Why?
said
Yeah.
by
Two
her."
questions about that. So her name was Melissa, right? Was that her name? The
Yeah.
friend? Okay.
Yep.
So if she wanted to have this moment, why did she have it in the bathroom? Like, why wouldn't she just have it outright? Like, do you have a theory
I
on
think
this?
I do have a theory because she knows that I would have called her out right then and there at the
Mm.
table, and she didn't want to have that, and
But
so
she
she
knew it
wanted to
would
be
still get picked
sneaky.
up on mics.
She
Yeah.
knew that she was mic'd up, and she knew that it would be caught on the mic if she just went around to the bathroom with Allie. And me and Joseph didn't even have an opportunity to defend ourselves and tell the truth. And this person that I've never went to the strip club with her. She's never seen me go to the strip club. I didn't meet her at the strip club. So it's what gives her the right to talk about me and say that I go to strip clubs all the time? Like, you don't fucking know.
So did she have a
So
problem with you, or was it just a TV thing? She
no, I
just
think
wanted.
she did. She wasn't a big fan of me. I don't think she really liked me too much. And I don't know why they didn't end up dating too long. So I never really got to know her that well. So I really don't know.
Are you and him still
But
cool?
yeah, we're still cool.
Okay.
I think, like I said, I could sit here and give you a million reasons why I think she did what she did, but ultimately, I think it was shady. It was just sneaky, and the motives behind that weren't good.
So why do you think Allie never brought it up to you?
I don't know. I asked Allie, and she just kind of danced around the question and didn't really want to give me a straight answer as to why she didn't bring it up. And it's like, hey, I wish she brought it up because we could have handled it and talked about it right then and there.
When did you find out that that even happened? That she was told about the strip club thing because Allie never brought it up to you.
When the show came out.
That is when you found out about it?
That's when I
Oh
found out
my
she said.
god.
That's when I found out she said he goes to strip clubs all the time.
Oh my god, that's nuts.
Hmm.
On the
Yeah.
reunion, you mentioned that Melissa said something later that night that upset Allie, right? Did you say something like that? Like later on, something happened that night that Melissa said something that
Well,
upset Allie? Did something happen there?
Allie alluded to the fact that she was upset, right? And like she even
Mhm.
kind of made it a point in the scene to say that, hey, I'm mad at you. And
Yeah,
I'm
like you're
like,
in
well, what are you
trouble.
mad
Yeah.
about? Yeah, you're in trouble kind of thing. And I'm like, well, what's that about? And she wouldn't tell me. And so I just deduced that it was something Melissa said to Allie because she was in a good mood going into the date, and then coming back from the bathroom, obviously she was, she said that I was in trouble. So I deduced it was either something that had happened or something she saw or something that was said. But again, I didn't know what it was. So I was like, okay, and then we ended up, after the cameras left, we ended up staying back for a drink, and I kind of tried to pick her head on like, hey, what was said? What are you mad about? Like, what is it? And she wouldn't really tell me.
Mm, I get it now.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, this is what stood out to me the most from that scene, though. So you guys, you and Joey, you worked at McDonald's when you were younger, and you would close the McDonald's while you were working, and you would get fucked up in the parking lot.
Hell yeah, brother.
Hell yeah!
I mean, dude, we were 16. Yeah, like we were
No,
like
that's
16,
awesome. So
17. Yeah.
you
And I
literally
was the
you
manager. Yeah, I was the manager.
you're the manager
And
at 16.
yeah, I was the overnight. Like, so the way it pretty much works is like there's like a shift manager, somebody that's kind of like in charge on the overnight shift, but it wasn't like anybody that's, like you're just a shift manager. And so it was me and him and like one other person that worked the overnight shift. And so it was just the three of us. And yeah, we would pretty much end up, yeah, shutting it down and going out back and smoking weed or whatever. Yeah. So
Hell yeah, brother.
That's fucking awesome. That's all right. Interview's over. That's all I really wanted to ask you about. That's why I brought you on. Uh,
I mean, who hasn't, dude? Like, what 16-year-old hasn't? I don't know, maybe not
I
that
was
many,
such
but
a good boy at 16. Such a
oh
good boy.
shit, well, yeah. I mean, I
uh,
guess I wasn't, yeah, because
yeah.
that was almost a nightly thing. That was like we got paid for like pretty much 3 hours of just being out back shooting the shit, smoking weed.
So
So
sick.
yeah,
um,
that's why
what
the
was
ice
the
cream machine is always down.
yeah? What was the reveal like for you, and why were your pupils so big, Anton? What were you doing in the room before the reveal?
I don't know, man. I think when I get nervous, maybe my pupils get big. I can't see them, so I don't know. But are they big right now?
I don't.
Um, no, dude. I mean, so first of all, I was super nervous for for that reveal because like that's definitely like gonna make the cut, right? Like that's definitely gonna be
Yeah,
TV like important moment. So I was super nervous. I was like trying to get myself together in my head. I'm like, I don't want to fuck this up. I don't want to fuck this up. Don't fuck this up. And I fucked it up.
you fucked it up. How'd you fuck
Yeah, I
it
mean,
up?
well, I mean, the whole part about having my glasses on my head, you
What
know?
you had your glasses on your head?
Yeah, yeah, that was a big thing. Yeah, everybody's giving me grief for that. They're like, well, the man clearly can't see. Why are your glasses on your head? You
Oh
know?
yeah.
Yeah. And well, I was so truthfully like I was nervous and a little bit insecure about my glasses. So I think I left them up there,
I remember
just
that.
wanting to sort of present myself in the best way possible. But I didn't, realize how far away she was going to be because I can see up close,
Oh
but
yeah,
like
the
far I
squinting
can't
and the
see.
stuff like
So I
that.
was
Yeah, yeah,
going,
yeah.
yeah, I was squinting at her to see what, where she actually looks like and everything. So yeah, that was my proudest moment for sure.
In person, what were the vibes good? Was it awkward? Like how are you feeling about it?
I mean, I think the vibes were, yeah, I mean, I think they were as good as they can be on, in real life because like, obviously, um, like, I think, she's obviously attractive, and I'm a good looking guy, and like we both kind of vibed off of that. It wasn't like any major expectations. Like I
Yeah, yeah.
don't think I had any expectations of what she would look like versus what she actually looked like. So it wasn't, there wasn't any of that going on. But I think just a nervousness from knowing that, like, yeah, this is definitely gonna make TV right here. So it's like that nervousness kind of caused me to, just act a fool, I guess.
It happens. Uh, is your current girlfriend okay with you kissing with your eyes open?
See, nah, no, she gives me grief about it all the time, dude.
Not
She's like, close
cool.
your fucking eyes. Close your
Her eyes
fucking
are
eyes.
closed. Why does it matter? How does she know? Her
Yeah,
eyes have
right,
to be open
right. That's
too.
what I keep saying. I'm like, yeah, so you're opening your eyes too if you see me
I
opening
know.
my eyes.
Takes two to tango, you know?
But yeah, well, it's just yeah, weird little things like that.
I
But
want to see my
she
I want to
appreciates
see
all
the
that.
person that I'm kissing kiss me. It's beautiful,
That's
you
right.
know?
Yeah, that's what I told her. I was like, I want to see who I'm kissing. I want to see the beauty of the gal that I'm kissing.
They don't
So
get it. They don't get it. They
no,
don't get
no,
how
they don't.
comfortable flip-flops are for men. They don't understand. They
That's
need to
right.
get it. I
That's
know.
right, dude. I was on a beach in Mexico. Come on, what am I supposed to wear?
Okay, here's something I have. So Allie said she didn't like your flip-flops, which I'm guessing she didn't tell you at the time, right?
No, no, I had no idea.
And she said she hopes that you've worked on your walk. Do you know what she was talking about with that? Do you have a bad walk? Do you need to work on your walk?
I have no idea, dude. I have no idea what that's all about. I genuinely don't.
Well, work on
Like
it, okay?
what? My walk.
Improve it, all right? So
Yeah, I thought that was
you're in it.
I was hoping she was just being silly and just I don't know. I don't if she really meant something by that, like actually something about my walk, then you know,
You might
I
end up
don't
on
know
a
what to
runway
say.
soon, and your walk
I,
better be better.
yeah, I don't know what to say to that.
Do you guys think you would have, or do you think you two would have had a better chance if you didn't both work nights?
Sure. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
so. I think it's not just the fact that we both work nights, but like we have different days off. And, like if you've ever worked nights, you know that like if you work the night before and you're off the next day, then like it kind of drags into the night that you worked the night before drags into the next day because you get home, you want to take a nap, whatever, and then half your day's already gone, the day off that you had. And so if she had like Sunday, Monday off, and I had Saturday, Sunday off, and that, definitely interfered with each other and really only gave us like one night off together.
Yeah.
So,
No, I understand. I was a waiter and I worked nights, and my fiance, when we first started dating, she was a barista, so she would work
yeah.
mornings. And like, yeah, the first 2 years of our relationship, we really had to make it work, you
Yeah.
know. And I couldn't
Yeah. And it's
imagine being
like,
engaged doing that. Yeah,
yeah, and like in such a short period of time. So I get that. And it's like, I mean, it's been a strain because I still work nights. It's still been a strain on my current girlfriend, but at least we haven't had the timeline challenges that, I did in that relationship right there. So,
definitely.
it's definitely manageable. It can be done, but it's not for the weak. That's for sure.
Definitely. So, you and Allie had a discussion over steak, eggs, and mimosas where it sounded like you would be comfortable covering her expenses while she was in school. Was this something you discussed at length? And did this come up in the pods? Like, how did this come up?
So in the pods, I mean, this is a while ago, but the way I remember it was just her saying that she does want to go back to school and me kind of picking her brain on, okay, well, if we want to start a family and everything and you want to be a stay-at-home mom, what's the point of you going to school? And but but she kind of made it a point that hey, she really wants to do that and she wants to pursue, that higher learning uh, you know, thing. And I was like, okay, well, it's manageable. We have to do it, but we have to be responsible about it because I'm responsible with my money. And she was basically saying, well, are you going to be able to support me while I'm doing that? And I said, yes, I can. But we just have to be more responsible with our money, because there's red flags that were going off with me about how she is with money. I mean, uh, I don't want to put her business out there, but essentially, there's a couple different things about like the car that she drives and how she's, her saving patterns and things like that, that kind
What
of made
what
me
kind of car?
question like debt. Oh, dude, I think it's, I want to say it was like a baby Benz, like a
Oh,
like a fancy one of them fancy Mercedeses.
okay.
And I was like, okay, like, and she told me how much the payment was and how much the car insurance was, and I was like, holy shit, on that income, like, I was kind of
Yeah,
like,
she did
it
say
kind
she
of made me
wasn't
think.
she did say she wasn't good with money, so this isn't like totally surprising. Yeah.
Yeah, and so all I was trying to say is that, like, yes, like, my income, I do make enough money to where, I have rental properties in Florida that I own, and I have a full-time job that pays really well. So it's like I have the money to be able to support you, but that doesn't mean that, we're gonna be just throwing money around frivolously.
Yeah.
That's the point I was trying to make. So I think
What
it's a
did
compromise, right? I was trying to get to a compromise.
what did you think about her comments or like her talk about how she wasn't gonna clean while she was in school and stuff?
Yeah, I don't know what she meant by that because Y I wouldn't be okay with that, and that's the point I was trying to make with that is like, okay, well, I understand you're in school, and, like, she mentioned something about when she was in school last time, her parents cooked and cleaned for her and everything, and, like, I understand that, but I'm not gonna be cooking and cleaning if I'm working full time and supporting you while you're in school. And I don't think it doesn't matter if you're in school full time or part time. I don't think it's to the point where you can't manage to, still cook and clean at the same time. At least after yourself. At least cook for yourself and me if I'm around as well, or clean up after yourself. And that's. But again, I don't know what she meant by that. I don't know what if that was in the context of her just being in school full time or working and being in school, because the conversation was that she wasn't going to be working while she's in school. So
So so it seems like you're kind of still unsure about what she meant by everything. Did a lot of conversations not have proper follow-up just because how fast everything was moving?
let me see how I want to answer this. I think it wasn't even the lack of follow up, but it was just kind of an unsure sort of response from her. Usually it's like, well, because I try to pin her down on, okay, well,
Yeah.
once we get married, like, where are we gonna move, together? Where are we gonna move in? Are we gonna, because she still had a lease for like over 12 months with her two roommates, and she was like, well, I don't want to move out of there, and there's that and the third. And I was like, okay, well, and I wouldn't be able to really get a straight answer from her. Like, she wouldn't she wouldn't really want to have those serious conversations.
So in retrospect, are these like does this all kind of add up?
Yeah, yeah, it
Yeah.
does.
Um all right, so we covered you guys going out for drinks together. After the country bar party, Allie confronts you about your drinking. Was this the first time that she did this?
I believe so. Yeah, I
Okay.
believe so. It just came out of nowhere because it's like, you know, she never really talked about her having an issue with drinking, and she was also drinking just about every time I was drinking as well. Um, so there was a scene where we met her parents, or her mom, I believe. That was the only scene where neither one of us was drinking. And so to me, it just kind of seemed weird because she was more intoxicated, in my opinion, than I was when we got back from that country bar. And for her to sort of want to pick a fight with me on camera over that, I was kind of caught off guard a little bit. I was like, well, where's this coming from?
Yeah, she needed liquid courage to confront you about your drinking, which is ironic.
That's ironic, right?
Uh, wait, did Patrick come up with you to your apartment to drink or not? Anton, what
He
happened with Patrick that night?
So he pulled up because Patrick was obviously like done with filming and everything, and
Yeah.
he pulled up on a night that I was off and on a night that she was working. And I think we had a couple of beers and we ended up going out across the street to like a little bar just to catch up. And I was more truthfully, like, it wasn't even me trauma dumping on him. It was more so to see how he's doing because I was so like caught off guard, I guess, by what happened with him and his whole
Yeah.
situation and the Casey stuff. So I was like, "Holy shit, dude! Like, are you good? Like, are you all right? Like, let's hang out. You know, let's talk about it, kind of thing." So and me and Patrick have gotten really close since the show and everything, and we're boys. But at that time, right there, I was just like I said, I was just kind of astonished by what happened with him.
Did you know if the tequila bottle was in the fridge or not? What is the truth?
I think I knew that it wasn't in there, but I was sort of so caught off guard and whatever. I was like, shit, maybe I was like, shit, maybe there's another bottle in there or something. I don't fucking know. It was weird, man. And like I
You're
said,
praying
we
for
were
a
both
miracle. I mean,
yeah. I was saying thoughts and prayers for sure right then and there. I was like, shit, I can't believe she's doing this on camera.
yeah. We get okay. I'm not sure if this has been brought to your attention, but we get this moment where your mom comes over for breakfast, uh, and she hangs out with you and Allie, and you demolish your food. Has this been brought to your attention? You're eating a croissant or something, and you like totally house it. Do
Yeah,
you
it was a good
remember this?
croissant. That was a
Yeah,
good fucking croissant.
yeah. Where is it from? Where is it? Where do you remember where it was from? How good was it? You know?
No, I think I was one of my mom's homemade croissants there or something
Oh
because that
my
was good. It was
god,
fire.
it was
Yeah,
really
that croissant
fire.
was fire.
Okay.
Yeah. No, dude, I was hungry as shit. I was like, I just worked a 14, like 12, 14-hour shift, and I got home. I haven't eaten anything. I think I didn't pack a lunch or something the night before, so I was so hungry, and I was like, food, yes, let me eat. But I
Um,
I was just the thing is it was a longer conversation, right? It was like a 2-hour conversation. I was participating in that conversation. That was literally 5 minutes of me just eating that croissant, and then, you know, I jumped into that conversation. So to say that, like, I wasn't participating in the conversation, it's not the case.
it was like a 3-second clip. It was like not,
Yeah, exactly. So,
it was hilarious
I was
though.
going in on it, though. I was going in on it.
Eat that shit, man.
Definitely,
That's good.
definitely.
That shows respect to your mother's cooking. That's the appropriate thing to
Exactly,
do, you know? In many cultures, that shows respect. Okay.
exactly.
Um, how was the tux fitting for you? And did you witness Joe's crash out?
She didn't witness it because I think
No.
yeah, because, dude, I was so, like there's so much going on. There's so many people there because it was like 2 or 3 friends of every one of the guys that was there, and then plus all the producers, plus like trying to keep up with the conversations with like these new people that are friends of the other guys that I truthfully was not. I didn't see Joe's crash out. I do remember Joe saying something along the lines of like, "Yeah, I don't know if I could do this much longer, boys. I don't know. I don't know. Tonight might be the last night you see me," and blah 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 blah. Blah. And I was like, "Well, like he's going through something," but I didn't like witness it in real time. That's about all I saw.
Were you at the bar afterwards where Casey was allegedly all over Joe? No?
Nope,
Okay.
I was not there. Nope.
Convenient. Convenient.
I know. Yeah, you just have to get Joey on for that one, or maybe Casey. I was
uh
not there.
during filming, who did you view as the couple most likely to get married, and who did you view as the couple least likely to get married?
Truthfully, I thought Jordan and Megan were gonna get married. Like they were, and especially like the way Jordan was describing it, he's like, that's it, boys. Like this is a done deal. I'm good. I'm great. Like he was just so ecstatic, so hyped, and like to see it play out the way it did was really sad for Jordan.
Yeah.
I really was. If I'm, and I am a gambling man, but I would have put money on. I was gonna say if I was a gambling man, but I am one, so it's like I would have put money on Megan and Jordan getting married. Edmund and KB, I just didn't see that working out at all. I'm surprised that we went all the way to the altar. Truthfully, I mean, I I didn't see it. I didn't see it at all. So.
Yeah. What did you think about Allie's friend Daria's comments regarding your job and how people would look down upon you as a truck driver?
Yeah, that was diabolical, man. Again, that's conversation that I only got to see once the show came out, and Look, I don't know Daria. I don't want to speak to her character. I don't want to besmirch her, but those are some nasty ass comments. Those are nasty ass comments. Um, because first of all, I make, you know, six figures, well in the six figures, and it's like you clearly don't know the income that, some people make in that field, right? But more importantly, it's like you just don't put down a person's job. It doesn't matter what they do. They all have a place in society, and you don't, you got to have appreciation for every career field out there. And it just came off as very elitist, very classist, very, you know, as if one job is more important than another. And like, put the income to the side. Like, sure, you might be wanting somebody that makes, a certain amount of money. That's fine. But when you start talking about, you know, there being a class level to it, that's when you lost me, because it's like I know some great people that are working blue collar jobs. I know great people that are waiters, that are servers, that are some of the best people work those kinds of jobs. And you don't do that. You don't put, and then I know some of the worst people are in those, elite, doctor, CEO, some of the worst people are in those roles. So it's like I wouldn't, I see very differently from Dario on that. But seeing that, I mean, what she meant by your level or your status or your class to Allie, I don't know what that means either, because Allie's a nurse. And like I have a ton of appreciation for nurses, but I think a nurse and a truck driver is a very common like pairing. They're both very valuable, you know, middle income type jobs. So
Yeah, so that's how I felt. How did you feel that Allie handled the comments when you watched it?
like I said, I didn't agree with what Allie said either.
Mhm.
Um, but she seemed to kind of be almost like running cover for Dario a little bit. Like, well, he said he's going to start a business and he's going to do this and do that. But then, which is true
Oh,
and
yeah.
that's fine and that's fair.
Mhm.
But when Ali said that, oh, but if he was going to be a truck driver for the rest of his life, then it would be a hell no, basically. And
Yeah.
it's like, okay, what if I did want to be a truck driver for the rest of my life? So is your love conditional based on my career choice or what,
Yeah.
So
Are you even a truck driver? Not that there's anything wrong with that? Or
yeah,
aren't Oh, so
yeah.
do you, like, go on long drives and
No,
stuff?
no, it's mostly like local to Colorado, Utah, Wyoming, but it's yeah, it's pretty much just kind of like regional stuff, overnight runs, but
Oh, okay, so it's more like local truck driving.
yeah,
Okay,
it's
that was
like
my
think of like UPS, and like the packages have to get from like Denver to Salt Lake somehow, right? And they go
Mhm.
overnight. During the day they do the deliveries, but at night they actually move from city to city, and so that's what I
I
do. It's
understand,
right,
okay.
really well
Because that's a
paying, but
lot
it's
different than, like,
yeah.
I would be like, I would understand if somebody was like, "Well, I don't wanna get married to someone who's gonna be, like, going away because 'cause they're, like, a long distance
No,
truck
no, no,
driver."
no. I'm
Yeah.
off on the weekends. I'm off on the weekends, home every day, and
Yeah,
it's,
that's
the money's, it's probably the best paying job you can have in that field, by the way.
yeah,
So
no,
it's
that
like,
sounds great, yeah.
it's, you know, like I said, I don't see anything wrong with it, but I also don't really want to work for somebody for the rest of my life. So that's what I was kind of telling her about me wanting to start my own
Yeah.
business and branch off into other things because, there's other things I'm passionate about. So
Um, so let's get to the wedding. On the day of your wedding, you seemed very nervous. At least this is the way that I viewed on the show, that Allie was going to say no. But I read from multiple sources, from both you and Allie, that you knew she was going to say no. So, what exactly was going on here?
yeah. So about I don't remember exactly how many days it was. Doesn't matter. 4 to 7 days before the wedding, we had a conversation off camera where I basically told her, I was like, "What's it gonna be? Is it gonna be a yes or a no from you? Because it's a yes from me." And she was like, kind of broke down crying, and she was like, "As it is right now, I don't see a way of myself getting to a yes." And I said, "Okay, well, what the fuck are we doing here then? Because I don't want to waste my time, your time, the producer's time. Like, if it's a no from you, then why are we going to an altar? Like, I don't want to put my family and my friends through all that." And she was like, "Well, I want to stay true to the experiment. I want to honor the experiment, and maybe there's some way that my mind could change before then." And that was it. We didn't have any arguments or fights or anything after that. So in my mind, did I know for certain that she was gonna say no? No, I didn't. But
Oh.
I would probably say if I had to put a number on it, probably 80 to 90% that she was gonna say no.
Y
But I figured, well, if she's dragging it all the way out to the altar, maybe she did change her mind, right? Because she told me that, she wants to take it to the altar. And I was like, if you already know for sure you're gonna say no, I'm telling you that I want to break it off. So that's kind of why I was like, well, she is actually going through it, going to the altar and saying these nice things. She wrote me a letter. She got me a gift the day of. She met my mom. And, so I was like, maybe she is going to say yes, and we can work out through the issues that we have and, kind of compromise and everything. So that's why I still said yes. I was like, I believe in not giving up. I believe in compromising and working through whatever disagreements or issues you have, and as long as you're both there for each other. And I was like, well, if she's taking it all the way to the altar, maybe she's gonna say yes. So
yeah. Did you know that your best friend's fiance had messaged Allie and told her to trust her gut? And do you wish she had said something different, like, he's a good guy, marry him, or something different? Because
yeah,
that's what I would have wanted
I know.
her to say.
No, it's yeah, I didn't know that she messaged me saying that, but listen, it's pretty obvious, and I've like I said, I've got plenty of stories I could tell you where it's pretty obvious that she's a bitch and she was wanting to stir the pot and wanting to,
Oh,
you know,
is that the same friend? Is that Melissa?
yeah, yeah,
Allie
yeah.
said that it wasn't on the show, so it was? Who texted her?
Oh, well, she said it wasn't Melissa.
She said that it wasn't. She said it was your best friend's fiance, so that it wasn't.
Oh, okay. No, 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 no. Then that's okay. So then that had to have been my friend Jake,
Uh-huh.
who was at the tux fitting. That had to have been his fiance, because we also had another scene in there that didn't get showed where
Uh-huh.
we got to meet them. And if that was her, she's a great gal. I
Yeah.
think what she meant by that was just like, you know, if because it's better to not get married than to have to go through a divorce.
Yeah,
So I
no,
think
I didn't interpret it as a bad thing. I'm just saying if I was you, I'd be like, "What? Just say
Yeah,
marry
no,
him,"
if
you
it
know?
was Melissa, no, and that's the thing is I don't know if it was, but if
I
it
don't
was
think it was Melissa.
Melissa,
I think it was just
yeah, if it wasn't Melissa, then no, then it had to have been a
yeah.
different gal, and she's great. No, she wouldn't have been trying to stir up any kind of drama or anything. So,
So we see your mom go to see Allie when Allie's like in her wedding dress, I believe.
hmm
It almost seemed to me like your mom was like pleading with Allie to like maybe marry you. Was that kind of the case? Do you feel like really consider that Anton is a good guy if you're on the fence? Uh,
no, I think she
no.
just made the case for me the way I saw it, because she made the case for me and said that piece, but she also said she did say, "Hey, trust your gut, and
Mhm.
lean into that, and make the right choice for you." And
Yeah.
so because my mom, like I said, I don't think really knew what was going on. I don't think she knew whether she was on the fence or whether I was on the fence
Yeah,
or
that was
whatever.
my other
But
question. So did she know if Allie did she know the situation that Allie had told you that
no,
Oh, okay.
no, no, she didn't. She didn't. I don't think she knew like where anybody really stood. So I think she was genuinely just, trying to make a case for me, but also at the same time saying, hey, don't feel pressured into saying anything one way or the other.
We have
So
El Cid in the chat. El Cid would like to know why the mismatched socks on the wedding day? What happened?
dude, that's I mean, like I said, I think that's when I should have known it was gonna be a bad day, because I had packed the wrong fucking socks. I had packed um one of one and then one of another. So I didn't I was like, I saw that and I'm like, shit. But yeah, that was not by design.
So when Allie says no, um,
hmm
What did you think about her reasoning that you weren't the person she fell in love with in the pods? Was that a surprise for you when she said that?
Yeah, I mean, I think it was just an excuse. I think she was looking for any excuse to get out of it at that point, and she didn't have anything concrete, so she just kind of made it, made it this vague statement, which I didn't really appreciate, because that kind of like paints me in a bad light, almost as if I'm a chameleon somehow or something along those lines, and that couldn't be further from the truth. I stayed true to myself through the entire experiment, and so I didn't appreciate that. I didn't appreciate her saying that, but it's like the liquor thing. It's like the alcohol thing. It's like I think she was also latching onto that to try to, you know, use that as a way out, as like, oh, this is such a big problem for me. Whereas prior to that night where she brought up the tequila bottle, she never said a damn thing about drinking or, alcohol, and she was drinking, you know, pretty much in every scene as well. You would see the golden goblet in my hand, you would see the golden goblet in her hand. So I think it's all part of that, like looking for an excuse, looking for a way out, kind of thing.
So what do you think the real reason was?
Ask her, I don't know.
Okay.
I have no idea, dude.
In previous Love is Blind seasons, usually we see the couples are in. Also happened with Edmund and KB. We usually see couples talk after the wedding ceremony, but we didn't see you and Allie talk. Did you guys talk after the ceremony?
Nope,
Did
no.
production ask you to?
No, I don't think they ever did either because um and look, I think she said it all right there at the altar. There's nothing else for us to really talk about, right? Like we had a conversation off camera a few days before, and I told her, I was like, if you're a no, let's not take it to the altar. And she wanted to take it to the altar under the guise of like, I might change my mind. She didn't change her mind. She said no at the altar. So it's like, what is there to really talk about? I didn't have anything to talk about. So um and that's really it. Yeah, there was no content or context or anything for us to talk about at that point. I'm not the kind of guy where it's like I need an answer for everything. It's just like I wasn't gonna try to pin her down and, well, why is it a no? Why did you
Yeah.
not marry me? Like I couldn't care less. If you don't and truthfully, like if you aren't gonna pick me, if you're not gonna choose me, if I'm not your guy, then it's like, cool. I'm not going to try to convince you that you should,
Yeah.
and
Reasonable. Yeah.
yeah, it's like I think knowing your worth is very important, and like not trying to, convince that other person or trying to get answers. I didn't really need to get answers. There's no unanswered questions from that I had for her. So it's like, and if she had anything that she wanted to get out of me, she has my number. She could call me. She could come up to me. She could reach out to me. She knows where to find me, and she never did either. So I took that to mean that she has nothing to talk to me about either.
Anton, this logical thinking, you're not the type of person who should go on Love is Blind. You
I
have too
know.
high of a self-esteem. This is way too reasonable. You're supposed to be stewing and wondering and thinking and freaking out, you know?
I'm not that kind of guy, dude.
Ridiculous, Anton.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, dude. I think at the time, like, I was kind of like, fuck, did I do something wrong?
Yeah.
Am I? But I think that kind of like thinking, just, you have to like own your mistakes and everything. And the only thing I think, if I could go back and change, is I would have probably just broke things off right there. When she told me few days before the wedding that, no, okay, well, if it's most likely a no, I'm out then. If I
Yeah.
could go back, that's probably what I would change.
Well, let's get to the reunion. All right, first of all, why was the reunion the one time where everybody seemed so sober? Reunions are usually when everybody's drunk on these shows, and you guys kind of like flipped
Yeah.
the script here.
No, they didn't provide. There was no alcohol provided at the reunion.
What?
Yeah. They
All
gave us
right,
water bottles
we'll blame
and
production.
poured those in the little goblets. So
Well, that answers that.
yeah.
What did you think about Allie's comments at the reunion that you would light up in front of the cameras?
I don't know what she means by that because I actually think I'm pretty camera shy. So to say that I think is just deceitful. Um, because anybody that knows me or has like even my girlfriend, like she sees me on like like even doing like podcasts like this, and she's like, you gotta relax, you gotta not be so nervous, and don't stumble over your words and stuff like that. So I don't know what she meant by that. I think she was just maybe grasping at excuses or grasping at things to try to, subtly, somehow put me down. That's how I'm starting to see it.
Uh, at the reunion, not only does Allie say she knew you. Oh no, we talked about the walk. Was there? I feel like we didn't get like a lot of stuff from you and Allie at the
I
reunion. Was there
know we were
anything that we
last.
missed, or were you guys just kind of like washed over? Did we miss anything?
No, no, they just didn't spend a ton of time on us, and like we were last, we went last.
Uh
So
huh.
like they interviewed Megan and Jordan, and then Joe and Madison, and then Edmund and KB, and Annie and Nick, and we were kind of last. So like the night was kind of dragging already, and this is going like past midnight, I think, or past 11. So um they no, they pretty much showed everything. I mean, that wasn't much time. Like I think the entire time that we were talking was like probably under 10 minutes.
Oh
So
wow, that's really
yeah,
short
yeah.
for like
Mhm.
actual filming. Wow,
Yeah, the Casey and Patrick thing, and getting the
basketball.
basketball player out there and everything, that was obviously like pretty time consuming and everything. And there's just other things, there's so many other things going on there that
Yeah.
no, they just didn't spend a ton of time on us.
So I have one more question. So in a conversation with Swoon, while talking about running into you at this, I'm guessing it's the pool party that everybody talks about.
Yeah.
Allie said, I'm just going to read the quote. Actually, at that party, I thought it was so strange. Anton had told me that if he had said Anton had told me, sorry. Actually, at that party, I thought it was so strange. He had told me that had he said yes, but he didn't know what he would do if he would have also said yes because he wasn't sure that was actually what he had wanted. Do you recall saying this? So like if
I
you
don't
had
remember wording it like that, but I do
something like
remember
that?
saying what I do remember saying was something like I said, this was also a long time ago, but the way I remember that conversation going was basically like, I'm kind of glad you said no at that point because had you have said yes because you felt pressured by me or by the timeline or by anything like that, probably wouldn't have worked out because in my mind, I still have that conversation from when she told me she doesn't see a way to getting to a yes.
Mhm.
So what I meant by that was basically if you're gonna say yes, but just a couple days ago you were pretty much at a complete no, then it's like you seem kind of in and out or wishy-washy or unsure. So it's like I want you to be all in on me. I want if it's not a hell yes, it's a no. That's
Yeah.
kind of what I want. And so what I meant by that was it was like if it was gonna be a half kind of like an appeasing yes or like a well yes, but I'm 1 foot out the door already. I wouldn't have wanted that basically is what I was, trying to say. And like I said, I don't remember word for word how that conversation went, but I don't remember it going the way she described it. So
Checks out. Well, Anton, thank you so much for being so open and
of
honest with us
course.
today. I've had a nice time hanging out with you. Maybe sometimes we can meet behind a McDonald's and get fucked up, be fucking
Hey, let's
sick.
do
Let's do it.
it.
Do you think you'll ever do reality TV again?
I wouldn't do another dating show.
Yeah, not another dating show, but would you do like a competition show, anything like
Yeah, that
that?
could be
Yeah,
fun, man.
could be
That could be
fun.
fun. There's so many good like shows out there. Traders, The Mole. There's a few good ones. I wouldn't mind going on one of those. But as far as dating shows, no, no.
No, yeah. I mean, you're in a relationship, so hopefully not.
Even if I
Yeah.
wasn't right, even
Okay.
if I wasn't
Yeah.
right, I don't think
No
I'd ever
perfect
want to.
match for you. No.
No, I don't think I'd ever want to do that.
Yeah.
No, never had the.
Well,
Yeah.
anything else that we missed from Love Is Blind that you want to talk about, or are you about done opening up your heart to the world for now?
No, I just think everybody that I appreciate everybody's opinion and everybody's sort of thoughts on the show, but I just want everybody to remember that there's a lot of things that weren't shown. There's a lot of things that were going on behind the scenes, and just for people to have grace for everybody involved, and for people to not, jump to conclusions one way or the other. Like, I appreciate the support that I've gotten, but it's like there's some things that I shouldn't have gotten support on. It's like the people defending me about the tequila bottle. Come on, you know, the and the same way for her. Like, people kind of just need to, relax and not tear people down as much as they do. But all in all, though, like I said, great group of people. I'm very grateful for everything that's happened. I'm very grateful for the experiment and the experience of going on Love Is Blind. So wouldn't change anything about it.
That's great.
Yeah.
Where can people find you online if they want to give you some support?
Instagram, TikTok. My TikTok's real Anton Yarosh, and my Instagram is Anton Yarosh _.
Awesome. And for everybody, if you want to subscribe to Reality Alert, we are on YouTube at Reality Alert. Just youtube.com/Reality Alert. And you can follow us on Instagram at Reality Alert Podcast. And that is the same thing for TikTok at Reality Alert Podcast. Anton, thank you so much
You
for
got it.
joining us. So much fun.
It's been a pleasure.
Awesome. All right. Thanks, everyone. Bye.